Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading. This is Dawn from Dawn Williams Tarot. This is a reading for current energies through December the 9th. So whenever you are watching this video, I hope that this message resonates with you. This is a general reading, so it may not resonate with, the messages may not all resonate completely with you, but I hope that you find some nuggets in there that strike home and assist you. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for finding your way to me. I would really love it if you would like and subscribe. When I sit down to do these readings, I do go into meditation before each one. And one of the things that I do when I do these batches of readings, I sit down before I start that next week's batches, and I ask for spirit to pull in all of the energies of the people who have subscribed or the people that may potentially be watching these movies randomly. These videos. Sorry. I think I was lapsing into, I don't know, the 80s or something. So, the reason why I'm telling you this is because it's really much easier if you are part of the subscription. If you subscribe to my channel, for the energies to be pulled in collectively, because then you're giving agreement, right? You're giving agreement for spirit to pull you in to help me read these messages for you. And it just helps the community come together in unity. So leave that as it may. How are you guys doing, Gemini? We finally made it to December. We are now in Sagittarius season. It does feel a lot lighter, although I'm sure there's a lot of things that will surface for us to look at this month. I don't have any specific messages for you succinctly for this specific reading. So how I plan to do your reading this week is I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards. One of them is going to be from Doreen Virtue's Archangel Oracle deck. And then the other is from the Spirit Junkie deck, which I really like that deck. And then I'm going to do your readings. And then at the end, I'm going to pull 4 cards from the Archangel Power Tarot deck, which is a new deck to me. It is representative of the angels. And those messages seem to be tying up the messages that I may not have picked up in the reading. So it gives you additional information to help you. Or it could be new information that's being introduced that wasn't, because I didn't pull, all the cards in the deck, all the cards in the deck. So I hope that you'll stay to the end to listen to those beautiful messages. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And your first card is, when I see good in others, I acknowledge it out loud. So this is compliments, right? And it's one of those energies where I feel like what you give out comes back to you, right? And it usually comes back to you. So if you're giving out in a nature that is, you're not expecting anything return. And then when things do return to you, it's such a double blessing, right? So that's kind of what that energy is. So it's really just saying, be a little bit more generous and thoughtful and kind with your words, right? With your actions. Okay, so your Archangel card is Archangel Jeremiah. The card is called Overcoming Difficulties. The worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. Well, that's a great card. And look at you out there soaring, Gemini. And again, I do work with the angels. So if at any time you feel overwhelmed, you feel heavy in your heart, call on the angels. They do come and they do bring you synchronicities to let you know that they're there and they're supporting you. Okay. This is actually a beautiful card. Overcoming difficulties. Okay, so now I'm going to pull your cards. I'm going to lay them all out. I have shuffled. I will shuffle again. What do our Geminis need to know with the current energies for the best and their highest outcomes? What is going to give them guidance? What's going to give them clarity? How can this touch each and every one of their hearts in some way that is meaningful to them, that allows them to navigate the waters of their life with guidance, help, love, please? So I'm calling in our higher selves. I'm calling in our guardian angels. I'm calling in all of the angelic realms. I'm calling in any ascended masters that work with each and every one of you. I'm calling in the goddess. I'm calling in the God of our heart, whatever that is and however it resonates for you. Okay? Okay. So now I am splitting the deck. Splitting one more time. You can watch. Still figuring out how to get my cards on screen. Okay, so this first column is going to be your immediate past. The next column has to do with your current energies. Ooh. The next column has to do with immediate future energies. And then the last column, I'm pulling a fourth column because I want this column to represent all the good stuff, no matter what's in there. So it's kind of like an additional bonus column. Okay, so past, present, future, and then everything in that column is good. Okay, so let's look. We do have 1, 2, 3 major arcanas. And do we have anything here that is completely representing you? We do have a couple of things that does represent Gemini in here. Okay, so we have wands, we have swords, we have cups and pentacles. Okay, so you got all your all your bases covered. You have very light pentacles, which pentacles has to do with our finances, security, that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm just going to start out. This is in your immediate past. So your first card is this Two of Wands. It's followed by the Nine of Wands, which I'll talk about. And then it's followed by the Six of Swords. So this Two of Wands energy is a card of having to make some kind of a decision on something. Something that was coming in that made you have to think about, well, do I want this or do I want that? The other thing about this too is that this card is also associated with travel. The potential for travel, it could be even just short, like a short, day trip somewhere, something like that. But it's a choice of really wanting to go out for the adventure. Like wands are all about inspiring us. It is about going out and doing things that are quite different than our normal day-to-day, right? Our normal day-to-day lives. So it looks as though some of you had some decisions as to how you wanted to progress forward. Did you want to progress with passion and inspiration and just trust that you were going to be taken care of along your journey? Or did you want to maybe hold back and maybe decide later? It's kind of like, what do I choose, right? And those were kind of some of the choices here. As you can see, this guy, he's completed his first one because that one's secured to the building. This one he's got in his hand, and he's got the world in his hand. So he's really looking at, maybe I do want to go somewhere. Maybe I want to travel. Maybe I want to go do something different than what I typically normally do. And then we have the energy of the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of the wounded soldier. This energy is about really putting in the work, really putting in, grinding down, right? Really putting in all the effort in order to make achievements. So this could be anything that you have been working on to create. This could also represent really working hard at your job. Um, it's also one of those cards that you might feel fatigued, you might feel tired, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed, and you're just kind of looking at where's my finish line, right? But as it is a 9 and we're moving, and a completion is a 10, you're so close to whatever it is that you're trying to create, right? That Spirit would just tell you, just keep moving forward. You're almost there, and it's really going to benefit you, and you're going to have success. Okay. This last card has to do with moving to calmer shores. So whatever it is, and it would coincide with this overcoming difficulties card. So it looks as though this is confirmation. And as this is in your past, I mean, doesn't necessarily have to represent your past. This just could represent, this is the current energies as well. But this is in your past position. So whatever it is that you were going through, whatever it is that had been bogging you down, or had been holding you up, or had been preventing you from move forward, is definitely you're progressing very well. Okay. Your next column has to do with your current energies. We do have a major arcana in this column, and that major arcana is the Strength card. Excuse me. The Strength card is a card of tapping into your inner strength. So what this is kind of telling me is that this work, all this heavy work, all of this stuff that you've been doing, burning the midnight oil and really working hard at trying to get your best foot forward, or to complete tasks, or whatever it may be. This card is showing me that, all of that energy has really built up you as an individual and has made you very strong. So it's kind of one of those things, Spirit always says to me that it's when we're in our darkest moments, that when we get through those dark times, that we really recognize our true inner strength, right? So this is a card, this is a beautiful card. It does have the gold on here, so that does represent gifts from God, or being recognized by the God source for the work that you've done. So this has to do with inner strength. It has to do with your inner willpower, right? So whatever it is that you're creating and working on, it looks like you're really going to dig deep inside of you, so that you can put your best foot forward to create the most magnificent thing that it is that you're trying to create for yourself. Okay. The other card in this column that is here, which is interesting, is the 3 of Swords, followed by the 5 of Wands. So this card is a card of disappointment. This is a card of sadness. This is a card of mourning or loss of some kind. And it feels as though it could very well be that maybe you and another person have separated or split in some way, or there's some kind of a loss here that some of you may be working through. The other thing that I'm picking up, which is really surprising to me, is Spirit is saying that some of you are mourning yourselves. What does that mean, Spirit? It's kind of one of those energies, like I'm getting the feeling of this energy more than I'm getting visions, right? Clear visions of what it is that Spirit's trying to say. And it could very well be you're mourning some of your innocence. That's what it is, isn't it, Spirit? because so much information is coming out and so many of our belief systems are being broken down at this time, that it could cause inner turmoil. It could cause you to feel as though you have a loss of some kind in that way. It's kind of like, what do you do? How do you handle when the things that you've always believed are turning out to be wrong, or it's turning out to be quite different than the way that we thought, or the way that we interpreted our impressions, our perseverance, our perspective. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry. So it could very well be that some of you are mourning. Now, keep in mind, though, as I was saying before I picked up this card, is some of this stuff that is really asking you to dig deep and for you to go within to find your inner willpower, your inner magic, your inner answers, is due to this change here, right? This cause of this okay, is the cause of this heartbreak. The next card that comes in is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is also a card of conflict, right? But it's also a card of training. So if you look at the individuals on here, these are younger people and they've got sticks. They don't have swords. If it was swords and they were fighting, then it would be very serious. So I feel as though you're learning lessons about yourself. You are learning how to really create your healthy boundaries. You're allowing yourself to stick up for yourselves more, to speak out, to speak your mind. You're learning how to jar, right? You're learning how to, but doing it in a way that isn't hurtful, right? This is all having to do with just standing in your sovereignty and your personal power. It actually looks really good. I mean, if we look at it from that perspective. Now, the other thing is this does represent training of some kind. So some of you may be going through some kind of school, higher learning. Maybe you're going to take some kind of a certification to help you with your job space. Could be that you're going to go to Home Depot and they're going to teach you how to build something. I don't know. Could be anything, right? I don't know why I thought of Home Depot. They do that for kids. Like once a month, they would have this thing at Home Depot where they would teach kids how to build stuff. My brother used to take his grandson to Home Depot to do that. And once a month, they would learn how to saw and paint and, do all the stuff, which I thought was really cool. And I don't know why that popped into my mind. Anyway, so that's what this energy is. As it is a Five of Wands, this is again confirmation of changes coming in. They're not major changes though. You don't have the Tower here or anything like that. So I think you're good. The next column has to do with your future, what's coming up for you to look at, for you to review. And the first card that comes in is another major arcana. So again, this energy is like being hung upside down. Can you imagine how uncomfortable that would be? Like, I'm just going to hang you here for a while, because that's what Spirit is doing. This is supposed to be the tree of life. And this is representing a delay or some type of frustration or something that is preventing you from moving forward. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's just a delay. Maybe that you have a vision of something as to what you're trying to create, and the delay is to allow for additional time for you to recognize that maybe what you are asking for truly isn't what you truly totally want. What I'm finding with these readings was at the end of November and the beginning, when I did my December readings as well, is there's a lot of energy that is around really not knowing what it is we truly want to create, really not knowing what direction we truly want to go. And so people are putting those exercises of looking at that stuff on delay. And that could also be represented here. The other thing is as we're moving into the end of the year, Spirit has been telling me that a lot of people will be starting to create their New Year's resolutions. And Spirit is saying, if you are going to create resolutions for yourself, don't wait until the first of the year. And the reason why is because historically, so there's energy in that space of resolutions at the beginning of the year, where there's a pattern that hasn't been broken, where people start their resolutions and then they quit. So Spirit is saying, if you've got something like that that you're wanting to do, start taking action on it now, today, in December. Don't wait until January 1st. So this Hanged Man is a card of having to creatively think. This is a card of, it can be a card of self-sacrifice, meaning you're putting somebody else's needs before your own. The other thing about this card, though, is there is also an awakening or some energy that comes in that gives you some insight to yourself, which is why he has this beautiful golden energy around his head, right? He's waiting for something to come in that will free him from this tree of life. Your next card is a gift. And it's a gift of love right here. So what I find interesting, I wish I can set up so you can see how the cards run. I'm going to work on that in my next break, is trying to figure out how to get all of this stuff onto the screen so you can see everything, because it makes sense. Like, we've got lines going this way, and then we got diagonal lines that help, the interpretation of the cards. This right here is a gift. As you can see, God's hand is reaching out to you and saying, I have a beautiful gift for you, and it's going to make your heart happy. Now, as it is a cup, and as it is an ace, this is basically stating that you have either a new path coming in, a new path of love, a new path that lights up your heart, a new person that comes in as a friend, could be something like that. But it is an opportunity. And one of the things that recently Spirit showed me was that people are given opportunities every day, but we just don't always recognize them as opportunities. So as this is an opportunity and it's coming in, you would need to grab this opportunity and run with it, right? You need to nurture these so that they grow and that they come to fruition. The last card in this column, and I am not kidding when I say this has been in every single reading, pretty sure every single reading that I've done this round. This is the Nine of Swords. This does represent your energy, Gemini, but this also represents the ability to, that you've got monkey brain going on. Like, there's lots of thoughts going around about how to approach things, how to do things, what should I do? These are all thoughts that are keeping you awake at night. And Spirit says the only way that you can shut that off is by changing your way of thinking. So if these are problems for you, these are issues, these are something that you really need to focus on, and you're finding that you're not focusing on these things during the daylight hours, and it's affecting you when you're trying to go to sleep, the best thing to do is to write down on paper what it is that you're thinking about. Nobody has to read it but you. And then the other thing is, you can tell yourself, I've written all this down, so now when I go to sleep, I can sleep because I need that for rest. You kind of have to tell your body, we need to go into rest mode, because that's when your body goes into repair. So write those things down, pick up your pad of paper when you get up the next day, and then try to work on at least one of those items to get those things ticked off of your bucket list. Okay, so now what's coming in, which I find is fascinating, this is all the good stuff coming up. And I have to say, it really is. You do have this Ace of Swords. So another thing is coming in, a gift of clarity, a gift of communication, something that's going to come in again as a gift from God. Maybe you're going to get something that is really going to inspire you or make you think about something in a completely different way. Maybe this is going to be a change to a belief system that has been holding you back. Maybe this is going to be something that's going to come in and truly is a blessing for you, because then it is the impetus for you to be able to get off of this hanged man position and start moving forward again, because these two are right next to each other in the reading. Okay. Oops. You go there and you go there. And then it's followed by the Queen of Pentacles. I love the Queen of Pentacles. She's very patient. She's very understanding. She's very earth-based, very grounded. She's very wealth-oriented. She really knows her stuff. So it could represent a female, could just represent her energy, could be your energy. Maybe you are going to be tapping into her energy, right? But it does look as though there's going to be something that's going to come in for you to, maybe she's going to mentor you, maybe she's your mom, maybe she's an aunt. We are moving into the holiday season, and as this is in your immediate future, it could very well be somebody that you're going to be working very closely with. But this is somebody you can trust. You can tell her your secrets. She will typically not share your secrets with anybody else other than you. So she's a very good confidant. She's very down to earth, very easy, very warm, very giving type of an energy. And then your final card is the Temperance card. And this card is about patience. It's about patience and balance. It's also about blending energies together, two different energies together. So if you look at the picture, she is pouring water from this cup into that cup. And the whole premise is she's alchemizing water into wine. So it's like two very distinct different energies that you're going to be blending together to create something that is very beneficial for you. But at the same time, this is also the patience card. So if there are things that you are working towards, do recognize that this month is a holiday month. It's a crazy time, right? Crazy time of the year as we're getting closer to 2024. The other thing about this card that I'm picking up in this second, thank you, is that this is also a blessing for you. You don't know what it is yet, but it's coming in, and you are going to be blessed by this angel, which I believe is Gabriel. Okay, Gemini. So let me put my eyes back on. I'm ready to pull your cards from the Archangel Power deck. So let me move these forward. So it really does feel to me as though a lot of you are doing a lot of processing. You're doing a lot of processing of your life. You're looking back at things, you're assessing things, you're making decisions on how to progress forward. You're looking at 2024 as to what is it that you want to create for that year. We do have this sadness card. So some of you are going through a very deep healing period. My heart goes out to you. I've been there, so I can commiserate. And really, that's the only thing. I mean, you do have a little bit of this conflict card, but you also have this Nine of Swords, which is sleepless nights. To me, it's kind of an easy fix. I know it's not really. I think what the bigger picture is that people are really stressing out over the stuff that is coming out, like all the division, all the stuff that's really happening on this planet. And we are feeling beings. We feel, we're electrical beings. That's why you can usually walk into a room and you can feel the energy of the room. So whether or not people have been in a heated argument. You can feel, right? And that's kind of this energy. And because everybody's been getting this Nine of Swords, and I actually asked Spirit last night after I had finished my readings for yesterday. And I said, so what does this energy represent? And they're just saying that it's just the anxiety. It's the collective anxiety. And all of us are tapping into that collective anxiety because we all resonate, right? There's a frequency that involves. And they were also kind of showing me that energy of, if you're going to do any type of resolutions, start them this month. Don't wait till next month. And why? Because that energy is set up for failure. And it's hard to break that energy. And unless everybody absolutely, 80% or 75% of the people actually completed their New Year's resolutions, that energy wouldn't be there. But Spirit is telling me, try to avoid that as much as possible. Okay, Gemini. So if you're new to my channel, I hope you have heard something here that is helpful to you. Excuse me, I got tickled. I would really love it if you would join my community. So please please subscribe. It's free to you. There's nothing that you have to do but click a couple of buttons. It helps me grow. It helps me with my algorithms. And it's giving back to me because I'm giving to you freely from my heart, honestly. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay. Now with this deck, as you can see, it's big, it's thick. There's a lot of, it's volume, right? It's bigger. And my hands are not very big. So the way that Spirit told me to do this part of the reading is I've shuffled them prior to the reading, is to split the deck, take the top and bottom card, and then put all the cards together, and then do the same thing. Split the deck, take the top and the bottom. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 4 cards. So right here, you can see me split the deck, taking the top card, 9 of Raphael, taking the bottom card, 5 of Raphael. Okay. Now I'm going to split the deck again, taking the top card, 2 of Gabriel, and the bottom one is the 4 of Michael. Love it. Okay. I'm going to read your messages. Remember, like, subscribe. Okay, so the 9 of Raphael, make a wish. Dreams become reality. A joyful time of life. So this 9 of Raphael is the Cups card. This 9 of Cups. This 9 of Cups is granting your wish. I love this energy. On the Rider-Waite deck, you got this big fat chubby guy that's sitting in the middle, and all these cups are here, and it is a golden card, so you know it's been blessed, right? That guy's had a lot of really good meals, and more than likely he's going to have a few more. But it is a card of getting something that you have really wanted. Okay, so I love that. And if you look at the card, how cute! I just recognized. So this guy right here, right? He has a lamp, like a genie's lamp. So your wish is my command. Make use of that, Gemini. Love it. Okay. Your next card is the 5 of Raphael, and it says, everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret and embrace the opportunity for happiness. So once again, it's changing the way that you think about something. Like sometimes we don't always get what we want, right? There are some times when you really, really want something and it doesn't come to you. And then later on you realize, oh my gosh, if I would have gotten that, it would have wrecked my life, right? So you just have to trust this. Just trust that, God's always got your back. Spirit's always got your back. Universe has always got your back. Okay, that's a good card. 2 of Gabriel. Make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress is possible. Important relationships with people who share your vision. So this would be wand energy. So again, this is tapping into your Two of Wands, right? So it's confirming that very same energy. But this is also a card about travel. So it's travel, moving, going, action, taking action. So it's telling you make bold and ambitious choices, right? And sometimes you're taking a risk. It does involve a little bit of a risk. But the rainbow, there's a rainbow blessing you. Okay, that's good. Now, your last card is the Four of Michael. And it says insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep or time off, seek relief from stress. So this is that rest and recovery. It's a rest and recovery card. And it could very well be just your physical body may be tired. Maybe you've been burning the midnight oil, or maybe it's because, you know, you've been having this nine of, move these cards. This Nine of Swords, which is keeping you awake because your thoughts are running crazy, right? You get the monkey brain. But what I would do if I were you, I would honor this, because I feel as though, you know, we have got solar flares that are hitting the planet right now. We had an X-class solar flare that was coming in that hit us, I think, yesterday, or supposed to hit yesterday or today. I can't remember because I read so much stuff, I can't even tell you. But I'm feeling more on an intuitive level that it's because you're soul weary as well. Your soul needs a little bit of a break. It's really hard to do during the holidays. It really is, because we have a tendency to push through. Like, I've got so many things I need to accomplish. I got so many things. I got to go buy groceries. I got to think about, you know, gifts for the kids, or whatever it is. And we also are invited to a lot more parties during the winter holidays, those kinds of things. But if you can get in a nap here and there, go for it, Gemini, which I know many of you probably don't like to nap, but your body is telling you, honor your body and give it what it needs. Make sure that you're taking very good care of yourself. Make sure you're drinking enough water every day, eating as healthy as you can, especially if you're on the go. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you. I thank you. I appreciate so much you being here and sticking to the end. One more time, like, subscribe, and I hope that you will take the advice and take care of yourself. And until next time, have a great week.